Okay, folks, in example number 2, just before we get to it, David, we got some more information that we need. We talked about vertical angles. They're across from each other. Let's read this bit here. It says two angles that share a side and a vertex. That means they share a point, the point where the two rays meet that make up an angle, they share that vertex, okay? But do not overlap, are called adjacent angles, all right? So we need to know what adjacent angles are. Below are two pairs of adjacent angles. Here's one. Angle 1 is adjacent to angle 2. They're right next to each other, okay? This one, angle 3, is adjacent to angle 4. They share a side, which is this side, and they share a vertex, which is the point where the two rays meet, okay? Now let me ask you this. Evan. All right? Is this angle, right? Did you see what I said? Is this angle, is it adjacent to this angle? They share a side, don't they? They share a vertex, don't they? Are they adjacent angles? Rowan, are they?
No.
Why not?
Because they overlap. And it says that in the definition.
It does say that in the definition. Okay, so be careful of that. They share a side, they share a vertex, they don't overlap. Okay? All right, good. Oh man, let me tell you, this stuff coming up right here is super important. Know it. Know it. Okay? Two angles are complements if their measures add up to 90 degrees. We would say that they're complementary. Two angles are complements of each other if you add up their degree measures and they come out to equal 90. Look at angle 1 and angle 2. If I add their two measures together, how many degrees do they cover, Elise? We would say that they would equal 90. And we would say that those two angles are complementary. They're complements of each other. Okay? The next definition says two angles are supplements if their measures add up to 180. All right? Vivian, what if I added the measure of angle 3 to the measure of angle 4? How many degrees would that give me? 180. So we would say that angle 3 and angle 4 are supplementary because when we add their measures together, they give us 180. Everybody understand those two terms?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Complements and supplements do not have to be adjacent. Do you see this? Do not have to be adjacent. The only requirement is that the sum of their measures be 90 or 180. Rowan, yes ma'am.
So, does it have to be two angles?
It has to be two angles for them to be complements of each other or for them to be supplements of each other. Does that make sense?
Well, so like, say you have like a straight line and then...
So, Rowan says, say you have a straight line, which I now do.
And then like a line in the middle going up.
And now I've got a line in the middle going up.
So, the two angles
This angle and this angle.
are supplements, but like if the line was like straight up, then...
If the line was straight up, like this is 90 degrees, are you telling me?
Yeah, and like there's like a line in between, wouldn't it be?
So this angle is also 90, and their two measures add up to 180. They would be supplements of each other. Complementary is when I have two different angles that add up to 90. Right here I have two different angles that add up to 180. These two are supplementary to each other. Does that make sense? Good. Now I'm going to have to clear this off, and again, I've only got 12 seconds. So we'll come back and finish this example on the next video.